Dr. Dre agrees to
Woo!
pay Nicole Young how much? Was it $100 million? $100 million as a part of his divorce settlement.
This is a W.
For who?
I think it's a W for Dr. Dre
Why? It's a
because she was
hundred
asking
million.
for she was asking for 2 million a month.
Oh, damn! You're right.
You forgot about that?
I did forget about that.
What do
I
you mean?
did. I did
Yeah, what
forget
do you
about
mean?
that.
And she only gets 50 mil this year, and she gets another 50 mil next year.
If I'm
And
Dre, I'm just cutting the
mm,
check, and you could leave me alone now.
yeah, $100 million to Dr. Dre in now where he's at is like, okay, cool, man. That is, I'm willing to pay that so you are out of my life and I have to don't have to deal with it anymore. But I thought when from reading the story and learning about the story, I love to read between the lines because in divorces, even though there's settlements and people get certain things, there's certain pettiness that still goes on. You know what I mean? Between the couple, like there'll be a fight for a certain property. Like the husband will try to get a property simply because he knows the wife really wants it.
Yeah.
And in this case, Dr. Dre got a property that apparently his ex-wife still lives in.
Oh,
So when I heard that, I said, "Oh, okay, Dr. Dre. She must have really, really, really liked that house. If she's living there, and here you come, now you are the official owner. That means you could kick her out as she is now your tenant."
you know what? It's funny that you went there with it because my mind, look, there's two types of person that you could be, especially when you're a celebrity and your divorce is in the public eye. You could be the guy, and especially if you're the main breadwinner in this
Right,
marriage, this public marriage, you could be the guy that just says, you know what, as long as you're happy, just just be happy, as long as you're happy. And we've seen that time and time again. So, as a part of the public, with all, just trying to be as sentimental as possible here, sensitive, do we applaud that? Like the marriage is done, just give the woman what she wants, let her be happy, you move on, you're happy, it's done. Or do we applaud the petty when the guy's like, F you, bitch, and you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
just were saying, now I'm your landlord. Do we applaud the
yeah.
petty or do we applaud the, what the air quote right thing is to do? What is the right
Right.
thing to do in that situation?
The right thing is to, well, I mean, at that point, if you're on either side, you're feeling bitter towards the other side, right? That's what you're doing. So your goal, if you're the breadwinner, you know what I'm saying? If you're Dr. Dre and you're the person who's actually making the money, is to deal with this problem for as little as possible. You know what I mean? If you have an opportunity to get as little as possible or give as little as possible and also give a punch in the gut, you take your swing.
You
And
know,
I think that's what he did with his lawyers. That's
I
why
know,
this
but
took the
you,
time that it did.
this is a person you loved at some point. So
Right,
for it
right,
to
right,
get
right,
that nasty,
right, right. Get a new house. You got 50 mil. Go get you a new house. You can't live in this one no more because you put me through all of this. And definitely there's other things that are part of this agreement. There's definitely an NDA that's been signed. 100%. There's no book, there's no interview, there's nothing coming from Nicole about Dr. Dre or any of the things about their life, their private life for sure. I'm pretty sure that had to be part of this settlement as well
well, I
because
mean,
that had to be a big fight.
could she not sell her life rights? If she sells her life rights, a part of her life is her experience with Dr. Dre. Is that part just omitted?
Yeah,
They
once you sign that NDA, you cannot mention any part. So you can mention your life. You just can't mention any part of your life that has to do with Dr. Dre. That's it.
it'd be so funny if she did do a movie and it was like not Dr. Dre, but it was like Surgeon Clay.
Right. They
And
put
the
in like
whole
another
thing
person's name. Yeah,
and the
yeah,
whole thing was the opposite. They never lived on
yeah,
the
yeah,
West
yeah.
Coast, they lived on the East Coast.
Her very own 8 Mile. Yeah, her
Right?
very own 8 Mile. Exactly.
I'm just saying, look, I was thinking about that when I read this. And, as soon as you mentioned that other point where, hey, I could be your landlord, my mind went to, okay, well, what are we applauding here? You know what I mean? Because if she was being nasty, well, like DMX says, man, you do dirt, you get dirt.
Right.
I'm going to make it a mission to quote DMX on every podcast. RIP, by the way.
In
But
these situations, there will always be two sides in these situations, though. There's always going to be the side where there's like, okay, she was with him for 20 years, 20 plus years,
a
right?
long time.
That's a long time. And then there's the other side. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
All right, so you're gonna do what? That's Rick Ross. Okay, you can do the
Yeah.
Ross. I'll do the
You
DMX.
wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Oh,
There is that
there's the
side
two.
too,
Those are
but
always the two sides.
she could always be like, "You wasn't with me teaching the kids to swim. Oh, you wasn't with me driving the kids to school. Huh.
You talk about in the fancy car that you have because of the job that I have. You talk about the
What I'm
indoor or maybe the outdoor heated pool, the infinity pool. They swim it in as well.
I seen somebody on TikTok that had a heated driveway. This guy's an asshole. Took his camera out, did a panoramic on everybody
Somebody
else's.
else shoveling their driveway.
Yeah, and he's like, "This is what it's
That's
like."
me. I am that guy because I understand I paid for this. Yeah, you got damn right. I'm that idiot. I'm that idiot who's putting videos of his toilet on social media because it's voice activated or something like that. I'm that guy.
You want a voice activated toilet? Viewing
Yeah.
public.
Peeing.
Listen, help us get there because more than anything, we need a voice activated toilet. What?
Hey,
Why? Why? What is that? How does that even work? Because
phase two cleaning.
I guess so. I could see that. To never clean a toilet again. What are your thoughts here? Is Dre being petty? And if so, do we applaud the petty or do we applaud that simp, understanding, emotional, clean break type of vibe?
Okay.
Guilt-free
Yeah.
type of vibe.
Right.
Right? Leave in the comments, let us know what your thoughts are. And $100 million really to Dre. It is nothing. Okay.